Most people think budgeting fails because they're bad with money. But the truth is, most budgets fail because they're too complicated to follow. This is Zero to Wealth. I break down money and personal finance in a simple, realistic way. No hype, no shame, just clear thinking about how money works in real life. And today, I want to show you one budget rule that quietly makes everything easier. Saving, spending, investing, and even paying off debt, without spreadsheets, guilt, or extreme discipline. Let's start with a story that might feel familiar. It's the first week of the month. You feel motivated. You open a budgeting app. You create categories: groceries, gas, rent, subscriptions, eating out, entertainment, savings, emergency fund, investing, gifts, travel. You assign every dollar a job. For a few days it works. Then real life happens. Your car needs a repair. A friend invites you out. A subscription renews that you forgot about. Groceries cost more than expected. You swipe your card without thinking. The budget gets messy. And then one of two things happens. Either you abandon the budget completely. You feel guilty every time you spend. Neither of these helps you build wealth. This is the quiet reality for millions of people in the US and around the world. They don't fail because they don't care. They fail because most budgeting systems are built for robots, not humans. Humans are emotional. We get tired. We get busy. We want flexibility. We want life to feel normal. A budget that requires constant tracking is like a diet that requires weighing every grain of rice. Technically effective, practically exhausting. So the question becomes, is there a way to control money without micromanaging every dollar? There is. And it's built around one simple rule. Before we get to the rule, we need to understand something important. Money problems aren't only about numbers. They're about mental load. Think about how often money sits in the background of your mind. Did I overspend this month? Can I afford this? Why does my bank account feel lower than expected? Should I be saving more? Am I behind? Even if your bills are paid, uncertainty creates stress. A complex budget doesn't remove that stress. Sometimes, it increases it. Because now you're not just worrying about money. You're worrying about whether you followed the budget correctly. This is why most people give up on budgeting within a few months. Not because they're lazy, but because the system doesn't fit real life. So the solution isn't more discipline. The solution is a better system. Let's look at some data. A 2023 survey in the US found that over 60% of adults who try to budget stop within 90 days. Not because they ran out of money, but because tracking every transaction became too time-consuming. Another study showed that the average person makes over 30 spending decisions per day. That's 30 chances to break a rule. 30 moments requiring willpower. 30 opportunities for fatigue. Psychologists call this decision fatigue. The more decisions you make, the worse your decisions become over time. This means the average budgeting method is fighting human biology. And when a system fights human behavior, behavior always wins. So instead of controlling every spending decision, the smartest systems remove decisions altogether. That's where the one-rule budget comes in. The one budget rule that makes everything easier is simple. Pay yourself first. Before bills. Before shopping. Before lifestyle. Before anything else. When money enters your account, a fixed portion is immediately moved to savings and investments. What's left is what you're allowed to spend. No tracking every category. No guilt. No constant calculations. Just one rule. If it's not in the spending account, it's not available. That's it. This one shift changes everything. Because instead of asking, can I afford this? You already know. If the money is there, no spreadsheets. No emotional bargaining. Just clarity. Let's make this real. Imagine two people. Both earn $4,000 per month after tax. Person A, the traditional budgeter. Person A builds a detailed budget. $1,500. Groceries. For $100. $150. Dining out. $200. Subscriptions. $60. Savings. $300. Investing, $200. Fun money, $190. Looks great on paper. But mid-month, groceries hit $470. Gas rises to $180. A friend's birthday appears. A medical copay shows up. Now the plan is broken. Person A feels behind. They stop checking the budget. By month's end, savings get skipped. Not because they're irresponsible, because life didn't match the spreadsheet. Person B, the one-rule budget. Person B uses the same income. The moment $4,000 arrives, $500 automatically goes to savings. $300 automatically goes to investments. $1,500 automatically goes to rent and fixed bills. What's left? $1,700 for everything else. No categories. No tracking. No emotional stress. They just spend from the $1,700. If it runs low, spending slows naturally. If it lasts, great. And savings happened automatically. Month after month. Over time, person B builds wealth, not because they're more disciplined, but because their system required less discipline. Let's do simple math. If person B saves and invests $800 per month, that's $9,600 per year. Over 10 years, without investment growth, that's $96,000. Now add a modest 7% average annual return. After 10 years, it becomes roughly $138,000. After 20 years, over $400,000. This is not extreme. This is not hype. This is basic compound growth. And it started with one rule: pay yourself first. No complicated budget. No tracking fatigue. No willpower battle. Just automation. This approach isn't only for the US. Whether you live in Nigeria, India, Canada, Brazil, Europe, Southeast Asia, the principle is identical. Income arrives. The portion gets locked away first. Lifestyle adjusts to what remains. Different currencies. Same psychology. Money management isn't about income level. It's about system design. Even if you start with 5%, even if income is irregular, the rule scales. Small percentages grow. Consistency compounds. There's another reason this works. What you don't see, you don't spend. When savings happens automatically, your brain quickly adapts to the remaining balance as normal. Psychologists call this mental accounting. You stop feeling deprived because the money never entered your spending identity. It's invisible discipline. Effortless consistency. I want to share a turning point many people experience. At first, paying yourself first feels strange. You might think, I'll save whatever is left at the end of the month. But the end of the month always finds a way to arrive with nothing left. Then one day you try the reverse. You automate savings first. And suddenly, something shifts. Bills still get paid. Life still happens. But now savings grows quietly in the background. You realize, you didn't need more motivation. You needed a better order of operations. That's the moment everything gets easier. Let's make this practical. Here are simple steps to implement the one-rule budget. Step 1. Choose a percentage. Start small. 5%, 10%, or 15% of income. If it feels easy, you can increase later. Consistency matters more than size. Step 2. Automate immediately. Set an automatic transfer to savings or investments on payday. No manual action. No decision required. Automation is the backbone of this system. Step 3. Separate accounts. Have one account for spending, one for savings, one for investments. Clear separation prevents accidental spending. Step 4. Pay fixed bills next. Rent, utilities, insurance, subscriptions. These are predictable. Handle them early. Step 5. Spend the remainder freely. No categories required. If the spending account has money, you can spend. If it doesn't, you wait. Simple. Step 6. Adjust slowly. If you feel too restricted, lower savings slightly. If you feel comfortable, increase savings. This is flexible, not rigid. Step 7. Stay consistent. The power comes from repetition. Month after month. year after year. Let's address a few real concerns. My income is irregular. Set a minimum savings amount instead of a percentage. Even small consistency works. I live paycheck to paycheck. Start with 1%. Build the habit first. Scale later. What about emergencies? That's exactly why this works. Savings builds quietly before emergencies arrive. What about budgeting categories? If you enjoy them, keep them. But they're optional, not required. Traditional budgeting asks, can I control myself? This system asks, can I design my environment? One relies on willpower. The other relies on structure. Structure always wins. Most people overestimate what they can change in a month and underestimate what they can build in a decade. Wealth isn't built through dramatic financial moves. It's built through quiet, repeated habits. The one rule budget removes friction, removes guilt, removes complexity. It turns money management into something almost boring. And boring is exactly what works. Picture yourself 10 years from today. Two versions of you. One who kept trying complicated budgets, restarting, falling off, feeling behind. Another who followed one simple rule. Small automated savings, quiet investments, steady progress. The difference between them isn't intelligence, or income, or luck. It's system design. The hardest part isn't saving money. It's creating a system that doesn't require constant effort. Once the system is built, progress becomes automatic, slow, steady, unstoppable. If you enjoy calm, simple breakdowns like this, feel free to subscribe. No pressure, just more clarity, one topic at a time.